Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Anna.
We're the Hutchinsons.
We own Hutchinson Maple Products in Lake Paul, Nova Scotia, and we're the largest certified organic maple producers in the province of Nova Scotia.
For over 21 years on the road, running a successful trucking business, we've had quite a journey that has taken us home here to Hutchinson Acres.
This is our story.
Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Leanne, the sales manager with Hutchinson's Maple Products, and today we're making unbaked maple Nanaimo bars. To make the unbaked maple Nanaimo bars, we're going to start by making the crust layer first, and for that you will need a half a cup of walnuts. Of course, no need to chop them because the food processor is going to do all the work. A half a cup of coconut, shredded coconut, a half a cup of regular rolled oats, and 4 pitted dates, but my dates were small, so I used 5. And then put that all in there and add the top, and you just want to blend this together so it kind of just sticks together. And that's good. So really you just want to chop up the oats and the coconut and the walnuts and make sure that they're in small pieces. And next we're going to add our binding agents to it. So that is 2 tablespoons of Hutchinson's maple syrup, actually the pure infused vanilla cinnamon star anise maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of cocoa, a half a teaspoon of vanilla. So we're going to blend this together so it all comes together. And I also have a 1/4 cup of water here, so if it doesn't stick together and bind, I can add a little bit of water and get that to come together. You know what, I'm gonna add a little bit of water just because it's not as sticky as I would like it. Probably won't add the whole 1/4 cup, but maybe just that, maybe a tablespoon. Yeah, that's better, it's nice and wet now. So I'm going to add this to my parchment paper lined pan. It's an 8x8 pan, and I'm just going to wet my hands a little bit and use my hands to press down the crust. It'll make it a lot easier. And we're just going to take out the blade. Just press that into the bottom. It's just going to be a thin layer on the bottom, probably maybe a 1/2 inch thick at the most. I love these Nanaimo bars because they're not as sweet as the traditional ones, and they're actually a healthy version, so I keep them in the freezer and I eat them from frozen, and they're a great little snack in the afternoon when you need that little chocolate fix. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now I'm just going to wash my hands. And next we're going to add our cashew cream that I've already prepared. And in the cashew cream is 1 cup of soaked raw cashews that you soak beforehand. And then you add 3 tablespoons of melted coconut oil, 3 tablespoons of the pure infused cinnamon, nutmeg, clove maple syrup. I used a high-speed blender, but you could use a regular blender as well. And you can add a little bit of water depending on the thickness that you want. I didn't add, or I only added maybe a 1/2 cup of water because I want this layer to be a little bit more on the thick side. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour this right over my base. And one of the reasons you keep this these Nanaimo bars in the freezer is if you didn't, they definitely don't want to be at room temperature because they're going to get very soft and very gooey to eat. So I just keep them in the freezer in a container, and they're there when I need them. And just evenly spread that over the top. There. And next we're going to make the topping. And what that calls for is a tablespoon of coconut oil and a half a cup of dark chopped chocolate. And I'm just using a double boiler with a little bit of water in the pot simmering. You don't want too hard of a boil because it's going to burn your chocolate. And so you just add your chocolate in. We're going to melt these two together, and it just takes a minute. There we go. You can also melt the chocolate in the microwave. I prefer the double boiler, I'm just used to it. And that's pretty close. We'll get all the little chunks melted. And I think we got her. We'll turn our stove off and we'll pour the topping over the middle layer. And now we're going to pour the melted chocolate topping over the other two layers. So we're just going to slowly pour that over. And I like to try to reach all of the middle layer with the chocolate so I don't have to spread it with the spatula and mess up that middle layer. And another little trick you can do is just swirl the melted chocolate around so you cover all of the white area. And there we go. There. So now we're going to put this in the freezer for at least an hour to harden, and then we're going to cut it. And here we have our finished product of the unbaked maple Nanaimo bars. And a little tip on the parchment paper, do make sure that you use that inside your 8x8 pan, because you can just lift the entire recipe out on your counter and cut through the hardened chocolate with a hot knife that you run under hot or boiling water, and that really helps to cut the Nanaimo bars so the topping doesn't crack. And for this recipe, the unbaked maple Nanaimo bars, visit hutchinsonacres.com. If you do try this recipe, please drop us a line and let us know how you enjoyed them. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today. For all of the recipes that we're sharing, please visit hutchinsonacres.com for the complete recipe. Plus, while you're there, if you want to visit our online store to purchase our products or to find retailers that are closest to you that carry a full line of Hutchinson Maple products. And if you do decide to make these recipes, please drop us a line and let us know what you think.
Next week on Hutchinson Acres, they're whipping up a batch of the pure infused maple syrup.